Hey, let me tell you something, lady. You'll take whatever we give you. You got it? Who the hell? You know what this is, ladies and gentlemen? I've used this word, and let me continue to use it, because it needs to resonate throughout talk host land. It's plunder. Plunder. That's what progressivism is. That's what the NEA is. That's what this idiot woman's all about. Plunder. Plunder your neighbors. Take their savings. Take their homes. She's a pig. They're all pigs. All they're being asked to do is to contribute more to their own well-being. But instead, they want to steal it from somebody else. These are teachers? Wow, pretty scary, don't you think? These are teachers? I'm not done. Oh, and we're Egypt. Now we're Egypt under Mubarak. Probably a history teacher right there. Here we have teacher Maureen. What is it? That's her name? Maureen Look Ainsworth. Let's hear what this teacher, no doubt has tenure, no doubt has been subsidized for 25 years by the good people of Wisconsin. Let's hear what this professional has to say. Cut 9, go.
Although Governor Walker does not have a college education,
all right. How about that?
I bet he wants to have a college education.
Oh, I'll bet that's a funny line.
I would bet that he would want his children to do well and be excited about school and excel.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't want to have the responsibility of paying for the quality education. So we need to do one thing, and it is kill the bill.
Some of the protesters held signs encouraging a recall of the governor.
We have 10 months and 15 days until we can recall him.
So the governor doesn't want to pay the bill. Is the governor paying all these taxes for all these geniuses who are teaching all those kids in Wisconsin? Or are the people of Wisconsin paying these bills? And how do you like the elitism? He doesn't have a college education, but I bet he wants to have a college education. Tell me, doll baby, what college did you go to? What grades did you get? Just how sharp are you? Because you sound like an idiot. He doesn't have a college education. You folks out there, you need to listen to what's in the classroom. This dreck, these yentas. Not all of you. You good teachers know who you are. You know what I'm talking about. The lowlives. You're surrounded by them. They're everywhere. Because they get tenure too. Meanwhile, that's somebody's neighbor, Maureen Look Ainsworth. That's somebody's neighbor, Carrie Bowman. Because the great Barack Obama, well, he contributed some thoughts today. He said, some of what I've heard coming out of Wisconsin, where you're just making it harder for public employees to collectively bargain generally, seems like more of an assault on unions. Now, this is the man who's trying to unionize the TSA now. And I think it's important for us to understand public employees are your neighbors. They're our friends. Right, like Carrie Bowman. I think the people in Wisconsin who don't have college degrees should not have to pay for the public school system because Maureen Look Ainsworth looks down on them. And so you have people without college educations paying for her pension, paying for her health care, paying to feed that fat face of hers. Disgusting. Oh, Obama went on. They make a lot of sacrifices. Oh, sure sounds like she does. Make a big contribution. I think it's important not to vilify them. Is this the same Barack Obama who is constantly vilifying the private sector? Constantly attacking entrepreneurs, people who work for coal companies and oil companies, truckers, assembly line workers, people who fish for a living, people who farm for a living. Would that be the Barack Obama who's telling us to treat public sector teachers with respect because they're our neighbors? By the way, did you hear that Obama's going out west, San Francisco, and having this is a footnote, having a dinner, special dinner at an undisclosed restaurant with some of the bigwigs in the Silicon Valley, including Steve Jobs, who's very ill, to get ideas, he says, on how to create jobs. I've been laughing at that one all day. Do you know why he's out there meeting with these people from the Silicon Valley? To shake them down for campaign funds. That's what he's doing. The man wants to raise $1 billion. He needs the Silicon Valley. He needs Hollywood. He needs Wall Street. He needs whatever he can get. That's what he's doing. He's not going out there trying to figure out how to create jobs. He's a job killer. That's all he knows, and that's all he cares about. Gee, Steve, how do I create jobs? Well, take your boot off the throat of the private sector. That would be a good start. But I can't, because that's my philosophy. Shaken down. Big money out there. That's why he's meeting. Why don't you get on that, you news folks? You're so sharp. But I want to repeat what I started out the program with today. You bosses out there, for the NEA and the AFT all over the country, keep it up. You are pissing off more people than you can possibly know. Keep it up. Keep bringing them out into the square. Keep saying offensive things. Keep bringing your little Hitler signs. Keep comparing our country to Egypt. Keep comparing your governors to Mubarak. As the Tea Party ranks swell, as the American people, their eyes open wide, looking at exactly what's in their classrooms, who's teaching their children, guess what you're doing once again? You're awaking a sleeping giant. And I predict within a year, you'll see thousands of Tea Party activists starting to show up at school board meetings. They're going to outnumber you. There are more Tea Party activists than there are teacher union members. They're going to take a close look at your contract. They're going to wonder how it is that they have to pay these obscene, confiscatory property tax rates, hanging on by their fingernails, going through their budgets, cutting way back, while you're not. You keep it up. We all know you're not attacking that governor. You're attacking the taxpayers. That's what you're doing. Keep it up. Your mayhem, your anarchy, your chaos, you've gotten our attention. We're repulsed by you. Same thing will happen when Obama and Reid shut down the federal government. We will be repulsed by them too. Because their demands are so unconscionable, so outrageous, so detrimental to our children and grandchildren, it will underscore exactly who they are and what they are and who supports them. And our ranks will grow and grow and grow. You know, we nationally syndicated hosts, we take a lot of abuse. You can hear commercials, oh, we're local and live. And sometimes that's good. But if you're only local and live throughout the programming day, and obviously the station you're listening to is not only local and live, then you don't hear these other bits of information that affect you and your lives. What the NEA is doing in Wisconsin will affect every state, because that's how they organize. I've been tracking the NEA for 20 years. Same with other events out there. In New York, we need to know what's going on in Wisconsin. In Washington, we need to go know what's going on in California, and so forth. These groups, these politicians, these political parties, these economic issues, they cut across borders. They have national significance, including what goes on in your community. Now, I'll give you an example of how great nationally syndicated radio is. Gateway Pundit Right Network. Guess what? We found the Wisconsin Senate Democrats. Breaking. Wisconsin Democrats hiding at Best Western in Rockford, Illinois. Thanks to the Tea Party activists who tracked them down. This is no joke. This is breaking news. The Wisconsin Senate Democrats fled the state today rather than vote on budget repair bill. If you're in the Rockford area, they write, please go to the Best Western and record video, take pictures, and protest these irresponsible liberal politicians. The senators then ran to the Clock Tower Resort in Rockford. Update, the Rockford Tea Party just chased the Wisconsin Democrats out of the Best Western. They just boarded their bus and are leaving the Best Western. Tea Party members are currently tracking the bus. Local Rockford News is interviewing Tea Party patriots who chased the Wisconsin Democrats out of town. They're heading north. Back to Wisconsin, we don't know. Looks like they're heading for the border. You Tea Party activists, you keep tracking it. It's a short yellow bus. You know what I mean. Is that not fascinating, New York? Is that not fascinating, San Fran? L.A., Seattle, Dallas, Houston? Because it's going to happen in your town, too. We'll be right back. I want to alert the Wisconsin State Troopers. We think that the Senate Democrats of the great state of Wisconsin have crossed back over the border from Illinois back into Wisconsin. We're heard all over Wisconsin. You believe this? They do not want to meet because there'd be a quorum, and they do not want to vote, despite the fact that people of Wisconsin elected a new legislature, elected a new governor. They want the spending under control, and these progressives, who are regressives, they ran out of the state. Now they're on the run. The loudmouth Yenta union hack who was speaking earlier, who I played her audio, she talked about recall elections. I don't know the election laws in Wisconsin, but it seems to me if any of these Senate Democrats are up, they should be recalled. Take your vote. You win, you win. You lose, you lose. So we just want to give a heads up to the Wisconsin state troopers out there. I understand the governor has told you to go get a few of these people, so there's a quorum in the Senate. We think they're back in your state. And there's Illinois, another state on its back. I guess if anybody tries to cut spending in that state, we'll be reminded that that's Egypt too. We all live in Egypt now. So that one moron who said that the rally reminded her of Egypt, of Cairo. Why, were they saying kill the Jews there too? Were they molesting there too? I certainly hope not. This has nothing to do with Cairo, you idiot. Nothing. Cracks me up like these human rights groups who protest in our country. You know, they chain themselves to a fence on public property so they're arrested. You do that in one of these Arab countries, they'll beat you to death. Always brave over here at Lafayette Square. Not so much at Red Square or Tiananmen Square. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. When I thought you Tea Party folks out there or supporters of the Tea Party movement would want to know that Chris Rock says the Tea Party's full of racists, if that means anything to you. The Democratic National Committee is helping to foment the, what should we call it? The Hate the Taxpayers march on the capital of Wisconsin. I just want you folks out there to know this, that the DNC is conspiring with the teachers' union, as is Obama's own little troopers organizing for America, to cause as much mayhem as possible. That's your president. Your president knows exactly what's going on. That's what he's doing. This is what he used to do. You have to remember, he's an expert at this. That is, undermining civil society, organizing, propagandizing. These are his true skills. They were honed over 20 years of nothingness. So there he is. Reminds him of the old days of the New Left, the Midwest Academy, Hayden and Fonda, all the cool stuff, Sam Brown, his buddies, Bill Ayers and Dorn and the rest. It's in his blood. It's in his blood. But the American people are not stupid. The American people are wide awake. And the American people have had enough. People of Wisconsin have had enough. It's starting to go on now in Ohio. Same elements. Organizing. Community organizers pouring into the states from different places. That's really pissing us off, Mr. President. But you keep it up. You keep it up. We'll eventually get to all these politicians. We apparently didn't vote out enough of them. We'll have to vote out some more. We'll have to clear the decks. By the way, while our wonderful little ally in the Middle East, Israel, which does in fact share universal values and does in fact have a constitution, all those things Obama says Egypt needs, well, we just stabbed her in the back. Or should I say the president just stabbed her in the back. This from Foreign Policy. The U.S. informed Arab governments it will support a UN Security Council statement reaffirming that the 15-nation body, quote, does not accept the legitimacy of continued Israeli settlement activity. A move, of course, aimed at avoiding the prospect of having to veto a stronger Palestinian resolution calling the settlements illegal. No, we've never vetoed any resolutions coming to the UN Council, have we? Of course we have. So the Arabs, the Islamists, the jihadis, they see more weakness when it comes to the United States and Israel. They see more weakness. The President says over and over again, it's not up to us to decide what the Egyptians do or this or that. But apparently the President of the United States is the Minister of Public Housing for the State of Israel. He's the Minister of he's their equivalent of a HUD Secretary. The President of the United States wants to be able to approve whether any more apartment units can be built in the West Bank. Pretty damn stunning, don't you think? A message to my Jewish brothers and sisters. I'm obviously Jewish. The liberal ones out there who can't control themselves. Are you awake yet? You awake yet or not? And I'm sure in New York, your wonderful senior citizen, senior senator, Charles Chucky Schmucky Schumer, I'm sure he'll be at the microphone denouncing this. Oh, he's not? Oh. Where's our friend Anthony Little Wiener? Is he at the microphone? Probably, but who knows? The President of the United States is going to throw Israel overboard at the UN Security Council in the next few days. I thought you'd want to know.